Salutations, historical Halloween costume lovers. I am Laura Ingalls Gunn, and welcome to the reveal of my fancy dress costume, the Queen Bee. In the last video, I shared the vintage patterns that I would be referencing, as well as some construction tips, and of course, my fabric and trim choices. The video works in conjunction with the post on my website, Decor to Adore. And over on the website, I go even deeper in sharing my research that I found when falling down the rabbit hole of historic costuming research. So if you would love to see additional extant garments, photographs, and other information on resources and books, you may enjoy a visit to that site, and I will link to it down below. Now, I would like to take a moment to thank Kira Lee Cosplay and Lady Rebecca Fashions for organizing and hosting this spooktacular event. We also will be sharing photographs over on Instagram using the hashtag Historical Halloween. And I encourage you to go see all of the amazing creativity that so many of the participants have used. It is just amazing. And in the next few clips, I'll be sharing the up-close details of the costumes, and you'll see my husband and I actually wearing the garments to an event that we attended. So let's get started. For the past 5 years, I have challenged myself to make a very budget-minded costume every Halloween, and this year is no exception. And I wanted to take some time to talk about how I was able to create this entire ensemble for less than $20. Now, the biggest find was this silk that I found in the Dallas warehouse district for $3 a yard. There was just 5 yards, so I had to get creative with my design, and I let the fabric speak to me, and I wanted to do something that was 18th century flavored, but of course with only 5 yards, I was a little bit limited. And once I started researching some of the fancy dress balls of the 19th century, I saw how the Victorians took elements from previous eras and joined them with their modern, at that time, construction methods. So while the bodice is very reminiscent of a Victorian style bodice, there are overtones of 18th century details. And the two patterns itself had originally belonged to my mother. The lace was given to me by a friend, and the black braided trim had belonged to my grandmother, as well as some vintage black cotton thread. The hat base had originally been a doll's straw hat base that my friend Colleen had given to me that she wasn't using anymore. And I simply spray painted the straw colored hat, and then it was originally a circular brim, and I folded in each side 3 ways to get the tricorn shape. And then I just used the scrap fabric and trim, and there's a little nod to the Queen Bee. And the feathers, I had the pheasant feathers in my stash, and the 2 black feathers just came from a craft store, and I used my coupon for that. So I'll set that down and give you kind of a closer look at some of the details. So another nod to the queen bee was, of course, her neck choker, and it is a traditional closure on the front of the gown. And I just hemmed each edge of 2 of the stripes to get the ruffle, and so you couldn't see the stitch line. I just applied the braid there. Now, piecing is period. It is historically accurate. So I kind of wanted to show you the crazy kaleidoscope of colors that the lining is. And I used the bag method to construct the lining. But you can see on the pannier portion of the garment, it's sort of a taupe linen, and then the bodice itself was sort of a green linen, and then the sleeves were actually a 3rd color. And so that's actually a great way to use up scraps. And by doing so, then I did not have to purchase anything new. And really, who is going to see the interior of the finished garment? Of course, now you, as I am sharing all of my secrets. And I just wanted to take a moment to talk about my husband's waistcoat. So it is a cross-shot silk, and the fibers are gold and black that create the warp and the weft. So especially in various lights, there's definite beautiful movement in this fabric. Now, I did not create this waistcoat. I'm sure you can relate that I simply just ran out of time. A week was not enough to do all that I needed to do. I had the pattern and the fabric, and my dear gracious friend D'Artagnan actually did the construction of this beautiful waistcoat. And you can see here, she selected these beautiful buttons, which remind me of Louis XIV, who was also known as the Sun King. And it's beautifully piped, and she used some stitching from her machine to create a design that is reminiscent of bees. So I think that that was a really fun touch for the costume. And next up, we will see them in action. So let's get started. I hope that you have enjoyed the videos and photographs. I'm sure that you surmised that my husband is half pork. He is a real big ham bone, and it's always great fun when he joins me on my costuming adventures, and I really appreciate his support. The outdoor Halloween party that we attended, joyfully, our ensembles won Best Couple Costumes. So thank you, Mike and Michelle, for very fun event and that gracious honor that you bestowed on me. Now, over on my website this week, it is going to be all Halloween, and I just will be sharing Halloween crafts and a lot of fun different things. Some of the things that I've created in past years were little spooktacular cottages. There, you can see it now, as well as Halloween placeholders. And if you saw the banners behind me, those were also created in previous years. So head on over to Decor to Adore for lots more Halloween fun, and enjoy.